feel weird when I have to do this in front of you.
You always say that. It's okay, we're used to it. Remember your horse birthday? That was so fun.
Oh, that was
But
nice.
I think I cried. I was scared.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bree, in case you're new here, and today I'm joined by...
Hi, my name is Piper. Hi. Who am I talking to?
The camera.
Okay, we do it. Hi. Hi. Hi, I'm Sydney.
I'm joined by my friends Piper and Cindy.
Hello.
And we have tried filming this video before, but we filmed it in a car and the audio was not great. And there were just some technical issues, so we're starting over.
What if Barack Obama watches this?
That would be the biggest honor.
What if he's a subscriber? You don't know. Can you look at your subscribers?
I can see the most recent, like 90 of them.
Oh, interesting. Go on, Barack. Get on that.
So this video is, as you can probably tell from the title, just like college advice. We are all about to be college sophomores, and we had 3 very different freshman year experiences, I would say. So we just want to bring some advice to you guys that hopefully helps on your college endeavors, and that hopefully relates to you, I guess. I don't know really like what more to say about that. Hopefully it's good and helpful. But we started with, what's your #1 piece of college advice? I would have to say that my #1 piece of college advice is to not compare yourself to everyone around you or to your high school friends on social media, because I think we will look at other people's experiences and what they're portraying their experiences to be online. And freshman year, when you first get there, everybody's like, oh, thriving, like in my new home, I love my new friends, and everybody seems like they're having this perfect time and everything is really easy for them, and it's actually not like that for a lot of people, and it wasn't like that for me, and I compared myself a lot, and I wish I wouldn't have, because I would have enjoyed my own journey more.
I agree. I think you're right. That's just the whole thing about social media in general, is that like everyone is lying.
Yeah.
It's such a construct. I'm not even gonna get into this, but I definitely like don't compare yourself, but also like give it time. I think everyone thinks like everything good and like all these exciting changes are gonna like happen at once and like everything is gonna be great, but like just because everything isn't great at the beginning doesn't mean it will never be great, I think.
Exactly.
And like, I mean, I still feel like in some aspects I'm still waiting, you know? But I think a lot of people like, they expect everything to be awesome like, as they get there. And like some things are, but like if some things aren't perfect once you get there, it doesn't mean like that's your future, you know? Like things can change.
It's normal if it's hard from the right away.
Yeah.
If you get to college and it's like really hard at first and you're very emotional and you feel lonely, that's normal. And then that's okay. You don't have to be perfectly happy with everything right away.
I feel like everything is just more complicated. Like I feel like in high school I was either like really doing really well or doing like really poorly, and now it's like both a lot.
Yeah.
Some aspects like will be great and then some will be like horrible.
I think
it's really encouraging.
I think at college you'll have some of the best times and some of the worst times of your life, because you're just growing a lot and a lot of things are changing.
Yeah.
I would say also don't go in with a certain mindset of how you think things are going to be, and just be open for everything changing, because you don't know what to expect and it's going to be different than you expect. I lost my thought.
You gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah, you just have to be open, because if you're really set on like having a perfect college experience, and freshman year's not perfect, no matter who you are, it's never gonna be perfect, and if you don't want to go in there thinking it'll be, because that'll just make it harder on you as well.
Yeah.
It can be amazing, but I feel like a lot of people will portray on both YouTube and Instagram and Snapchat and everything that they are having so much fun and that everything is fun and easy, and it's not always like that, and it's kind of hard to realize that when you're in the thick of it and you're a first-time college student and you're like, these have to be the best 4 years of my life, and you have super high expectations. Yeah, it's just, and you don't have to put that pressure on yourself. I would say try not to put that pressure on yourself, and realize that everybody goes at their own pace, their own journey. You might not make your best friends until your junior year, maybe, I don't know. It's just like things will change. There will be constant ebb and flow. And that's one of the biggest things I think you have to learn as like your freshman year is adapting.
Just remind yourself that it's a transition itself, like going from high school to college and not living with your parents anymore, and just not being in high school where you're like in the same building for 7 hours. Like that's so different, and like cut yourself some slack and don't be too hard on yourself, because transitions are are hard and they're stressful and they can be kind of lonely, and just don't beat yourself up too much if you find yourself like having a hard time adjusting.
This is a completely random bit of advice that I just thought of, but in high school and in middle school and all of your school experiences before this, you had assigned seats, right? So at college, or it depends on your teachers, right? But whatever. In college, you don't have assigned seats in lecture halls, but in my experience, after like the first 3 classes of that class, people generally sit in the same spot.
Yes.
And so I would say if you're a freshman and you don't know this yet, it's kind of like an unspoken rule. You generally sit in the same spot. People will figure out where they like to sit in the classroom within the first like couple weeks. And then the professor will also like start recognizing people by where they're sitting in the room. So this is completely random, but nobody told me this. I had to figure it out by myself. But like try to figure out where you want to sit within the first couple of classes, because if you move around a lot, people are going to get annoyed.
Being able to like manage your own time and having like the ability to make your own schedule, I think, changes the game. It's not that you're not busy in college, but you're there all the time, which like adds so much more time. And so like high school, you'd get home like at 6, and then you'd have to eat dinner, and then you'd have all your homework to do. But it's just different in college because you have different time, like in the middle of the day and stuff. I don't know. For me, I love being able to make my own schedule and just have my own like rhythm. Do my own thing and not have to just like rely on the schedule of others.
That was the best part of college for me. It can kind of be weird at first. I think at first I expected other people to be relying on me more than they were. Like no one relied on me. I would tell my roommate I was leaving. She'd be like, okay. We told each other everywhere we were going the first couple weeks because we were so used to telling like our parents or like having somebody rely on us being somewhere on time, but it's
never
not.
do it. Yeah.
It's not like that at all. And then it's weird coming home and like having to tell your parents where you go. If your parents are like that, some are like mine, but some aren't. Something that we talked about that was really good in the last video, you brought this up, is that we were talking about how in high school you'll be doing like a club and a show and this and that, and you'll have rehearsals and 7 hours of school a day, and then you'll get up at 6 a.m. and do it all over again. Yeah. And we were like, how did we do that in high school? And you said that in college you'll be more tired, but it's because things are more intentional.
Oh my gosh, you said that?
Yeah, you said that. It was actually really good. You said you are more intentional with your time.
Yeah, that is very true. I feel like, because now that you're in college, you choose more of like what you want to do, and like in high school, like a lot of times the stuff you do is just like because you've always done it or because it makes most sense for you to like be a part of that. But like in college, you choose everything. Yeah, it's more intentional. Yeah. You can spend as much time as you want on it, and
it just takes more of your energy because you're there on purpose. Yeah, it's not like you're just floating from thing to thing. Yeah. Which I would say choose wisely what you get involved in. Like there's so many things that you can do, but you want to make sure that what you do end up getting involved in is something that you actually really enjoy and you enjoy the people, because it will take more of your time. People will expect you to be dedicated to it. It's not like high school where you can just be in a club and half-ass it, like only show up to a couple meetings. It's like people will expect you to be dedicated and they'll want to assign you roles and stuff. That's at least in my experience. Joining clubs, I made sure that I joined things I really actually enjoyed and that I would want to show up for. But obviously you can change every single year. You don't have to stay a member of the same club if it ends up not being for you. But joining clubs and getting involved, I think, is a really, really good way to meet people and to fill your schedule a little bit more. Like if you are a structure person like me and you like having more structure to your schedule. I enjoyed having club meetings to go to at night.
Oh my god.
Brain empty. No think.
Brain tired.
No that TikTok song? Did you hear that one?
Yeah, no think.
No think.
That's my favorite one.
Nobody thinks what I think.
Do you guys have any boy advice?
Not the one.
No.
Sorry. Okay, here's my bit of gospel that I love to preach. This isn't exactly this is more relationship oriented. Yeah. But I don't think, I will say this till the day I die, I don't think you can have a good relationship until you feel like you don't need a relationship. So many people, so many people just are like, I need a companion and I'm so lonely and I need a boyfriend, which like in itself, that's natural. Everyone feels like that sometimes. For me personally, whenever I've like entered a healthy and good relationship that like made me grow and made me happier, like I was in a place where I wasn't like, I need a boyfriend. Exactly. I was somewhere where I was like, I'm having so much fun and I'm just fine by myself. I just think like it's not something that is required or like you need at all. And it'll come to you when you don't need it, because if you feel like your life is empty and you feel off, like a relationship won't fix that.
No.
You're going to want to, at college, feel secure in yourself, by yourself.
Yeah.
Which I think is a mistake that I made. I didn't personally like take the time to feel secure about myself at college, and that is some solid advice I will give you, is that transitioning a relationship from high school to college is hard, regardless if you're going to be going long distance or if you're going to be at the same college. There's a lot you have to figure out. You are changing as a person the most you will probably ever change in your life. You're growing so much, you're learning so much about yourself, and things might be hard with your relationship. Now, this isn't for everybody, but it was for me, and that's normal. My biggest piece of advice would be make sure that you are deliberate with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you are like, I want to spend more time on myself and with my friends than with you, or equal time. Because that was a mistake I made, where I think I spent too much time with my partner than I did with myself and with my friends, and I didn't focus enough on making new friends, making new connections, building myself up, and that kind of was bad and unhealthy. And that was definitely something I had to learn from. So if you are transitioning a relationship to college, try to keep a healthy balance between them and your personal life. It can feel natural to just like want to be with that person all the time, all day, every day, because they're like a safety blanket and they make you feel comfortable and you know them and all that good stuff. So that's just if you're going to the same college as them. Or if you have a long distance relationship, you can kind of feel anchored to your phone and you're like constantly needing to be in touch with them. And I've known people who have had bad experiences with that, and it can just be hard. So I would say enter college with intentions. Don't try to figure it out once you already get there. Obviously, you're gonna have to figure stuff out once you already get there, but before you go, talk about it.
Going into college, I feel like it's also easy to like put so much pressure on yourself. Like when you're little, I feel like you're like, okay, I'm gonna meet someone my freshman year of college, and then we're gonna get engaged senior year, and then we're gonna get married. Like I feel like that's just like what people like fantasize about, but don't put that pressure on yourself that you're gonna meet someone, especially freshman year. Also, most boys freshman year don't want to date.
No.
Just throwing that out there, unless you, maybe some rare breeds, but most boys don't really want a serious relationship at the beginning of college, and that's easy to kind of get like messed up in. They don't want you to get your heart broken by a boy who just is not ready to settle down. And that's just like a lot of college, you know, that's what a lot of people do. They don't really want to have a serious relationship.
If you don't want to have a serious relationship, like that's normal. You don't have to feel like you should.
Don't put the pressure on yourself that you have to find your life partner. And even throughout all of college, like there's no pressure that you have to meet your person in college at all. Yeah. And also just don't, just have fun. Don't stress about love.
Don't sacrifice your values though. So like if you really value a relationship over hookups, don't hook up with people because your friends are doing it. But also if you feel like you're emotionally mature enough to hook up with people and that's something that you want to do or are interested in, do it, and don't let people talk you out of it, just as long as you're being safe and mature about it. Because I think there's lines that can be crossed, and like sometimes people aren't emotionally prepared or mature enough to just hook up with somebody and forget about it, but sometimes you are. Or like if you really want a serious relationship and you're not trying to hook up with people and your friends are, don't feel like you have to. Don't sacrifice your values. And that comes to anything. If you don't want to drink, don't. If you don't want to smoke, don't. Nobody's gonna force you to do it. Peer pressure is not really a thing. It's never been a thing in my life, but in college especially, nobody cares what you do. Nobody cares.
It's not like the movies when you see people like, you want to drink this. Like it's not.
No.
It's not like that at all. It's people
cares
don't care, and that's honestly probably one of my favorite things about college is you can walk around in your pajamas or like you look horrible, no one cares, no one even takes a second look at you. That's like the best part is everybody's just like in their own world, and
there's this dude that rode a unicycle to my 8 a.m.s my first semester, and I would see him every day. I'd be like, cool. Like nobody is like gonna look at you for dressing a certain way, for acting a certain way, for hooking up with a certain person, for not drinking, not doing anything. Like nobody's gonna look at you and be like, oh, weird.
Yeah, no one cares.
Like especially at a big college like the one we go to. We go to IU. It's a big college. It might be different at smaller colleges, but this is more towards big colleges. It's a melting pot of all sorts of people. There are so many people. There's, complete opposite ends of the spectrums. There are people who are addicted to heroin and there are Christians. Like, there's hard drugs and there's There's like
And there's both, like me. I'm both.
Nobody cares what you do though. There will be people like you. There will be people that want to go out every night of the week. There will be people that would rather stay in and order pizza and watch a movie. Like, it's just, it'll be fine.
Just breathe. Everything will be okay.
How about roommate advice? Dorm advice? Roommate advice? What to do if you and your roommate don't get along?
I think that you have to go in, like, understanding that, like, living in, like, a 12 by 12 room with anyone is really difficult. Like, the thing is, if you live, like, it could be, like, a saint. They could be a saint, and you could be a saint, and it could be rough. Like, it's hard to be around someone that much, especially when you are, like, involved in the same things and do kind of, like, similar activities. That makes it especially hard, I think. I feel like the most successful roommate, like, experiences are when you do really different things. 'Cause then you don't have to, like, share a lot of, I don't know, I'm not explaining.
No, that makes sense.
It's almost better if you have a little bit of distance, but also, like, if you don't have distance, that's okay, too. It's more about, like, making sure you're communicating and compromising with that person.
You don't have to be best friends with your roommate.
Yeah. I think it's almost better if you're not.
Yeah.
My roommate first semester, like, her and I could not be more different, but we, like, peacefully, like, coexisted, and I feel like that was probably the best, like, scenario for a roommate. And obviously, like, you don't really know how you're gonna, like, you know, you might have all these things in common or, like, seem compatible when you meet or, like, talk or stuff. Like, you don't really know how it's gonna be until you live together.
Try not to keep expectations too high. Try not to have expectations at all. I mean, try, like... my roommate and I were best friends, but we didn't have to share a room, and that made a huge difference. If you have to share a room with somebody, it's really hard. We didn't have to share a room, so we could spend a lot of time together and then close our doors and be alone. And also, we were involved in completely different things. I was in this club and this club, and she was in this sorority and this program and all that stuff, so we were on opposite sides of campus most of the time. We'd get together and we could have a really good time. Everybody's situation will be different, so another thing, don't compare yourself to other people, because some people will be like, oh, me and my roommate are best friends forever. She's gonna be my maid of honor. And if you and your roommate only talk when you're in the room, that's fine. If you guys talk once a week, that's fine. Everybody has different experiences with their with the person they live with.
When looking at, like, roommates, a lot of times people find their roommates on, like, a Facebook page where like freshmen, like, almost post, like, an advertisement of themselves. It's like Match.com. I'd say, like, when you're looking for someone, something that I kind of found helpful was, like, making sure we had the same, like, basic, like, ways of living, like, how we wanted to handle, like, people coming back to our dorms, or, like, what we would do on the weekends. I feel like that kind of helped a little bit if you want some kind of, like...
How clean you want the dorm.
Yeah, like, just, like, little things like that I think are important to ask. Again, you won't really know until you're actually living together how it is, but... Yeah, like, cleanliness, like, how you want to do that, how you know, if they want to have overnight guests, like, that's honestly something you need to talk about. Like, I didn't have a problem with that with my roommate or anything, but it's good to talk about that. But just, like, basic stuff like that, like, basic, like, living, like, safety things, like, just stuff like that, I think
you want to be on the same page.
Yeah, just, like, be on the same page of, like, the basic stuff that, that'll help you.
What was the thing every single girl would post? Like, I'm so excited for tailgates and rushing. And I love to go out, but I'm down for a night in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like all the time.
Everybody posts that, and then there's nothing wrong with that. But definitely want to make sure that you guys have the same basic living style. Yeah. So talk about, hey, are you clean? Like, be honest. Like, or are you gonna freak out if I'm messy? That sort of thing.
Yeah. Or like drinking in the room or something like that. Like, if they're, like, really not comfortable with that, like, make sure that, like, you're gonna be compatible in that sense, because that stuff, like, doesn't really change. So
how do you know you picked the right college?
That's a good question.
Gotta go.
How to know you picked the right college? You might not know for a little bit. It can be hard. I mean, things are going to be really different this fall semester. When this is going up before fall 2020, things are going to be different. But I mean, I hated the first 2 weeks of freshman year. I really didn't like welcome week at all because it was weird.
Yeah, I hated welcome week. It was horrible.
See, I liked welcome week.
I was like, I'm good.
And then I hated the rest.
But then I left.
I don't know, it's weird for a second, and you have to let yourself adjust.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to make a change if you are unhappy.
Yeah. See, it'll work
I'm all
out.
about that.
The thing is, too, like, you can, I mean, I had another school in mind that's a lot different than the school we go to now. It's in the city. It's a lot different. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, I wish I went there. It's so cool. But the thing is, you don't really know what it would be like.
Yeah.
Like somewhere else. Like maybe you would be happier somewhere else, but you don't really know.
Yeah.
You know, and like you maybe you're just visualizing all the great things about that school and not the cons.
I feel the same way. Like that's something I feel like I've been struggling with recently is like how do I know I'm like in the right place for me? And I think the biggest thing that I've like kind of come to is like there's gonna be things you love about where you are, and there's gonna be things you don't love.
Yeah,
and
nowhere's perfect.
Yeah, and that's gonna be anywhere. And I think it's also easy to like want what you don't have. Like we go to a school that's like in a small Indiana town, which like it's great there too. But I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool, like kind of similar to being like a city or or being like a really large town or like be not in Indiana. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had that something else. But the thing is like there's so many cons to that as well.
Yeah.
And that it's never gonna be perfect. And I think that you just have to kind of trust that you are where you're meant to be. And if you don't feel right like in your gut about where you are, like make a change. Like I made a change. I transferred.
Transferring is normal.
Yeah, it's so
many
normal.
people
Let's
do it.
normalize it.
Also,
Decrease the stigma.
Yeah.
I also think about our school is that like so many people from our high school go there. So I find myself thinking sometimes I'm like, ugh, I wish I went somewhere where nobody knew me.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you idealize that in your head, and you're like, that would be awesome. But like in reality, you'd probably be a little lonely.
Yeah, maybe.
And then you'd think, oh, I wish I was somewhere where I knew a bunch of people. You kind of can't win sometimes.
Yeah.
The grass is always greener, so you gotta remember
sure.
that like I feel like you'll know if you're like need to go somewhere else, or if you're like, you know, there are pros and cons with school.
I think it's also like weighing like what's most important to you.
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's fine. Like I feel like
No,
like weighing
sure.
like what's like most important to you. Like I was talking to my friend like a month ago. She goes to school in New York City, and like I was like listening to her experience, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this just sounds perfect. She's like, but like we have no campus. She's like, I'm not experiencing college. She was like, we have no football games. She's like, I've never met a boy. Like it's just so different.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never thought about that like I wanted
No,
that
man.
so badly, but like the experience I'm having, I'll never have a college experience again.
Yeah.
And that is important to me, like making sure I have that time where I'm like growing like in a like small bubble of like just a university. Like that to me is always something I wanted to do. And I think it's like weighing what's important to you. And if like being close to home is important to you, then like go close to home. Like that stigma needs to end. Like
There's
people,
no shame in going to the state school where everybody at your high school goes to.
Yeah.
You can still reinvent yourself and be a completely different person and hang out with completely different people.
Oh my gosh,
do not have to stay the same person that you are in high school.
Yeah.
I'm a completely different person than I was in high school. I'm in completely different activities. I'm not nearly the same. And I went to the state school where everybody goes, and it's just like there's nothing wrong with that. It's very helpful being closer to home.
Yeah. I also think what's neat about if you go to a state school where a lot of people from your high school go, I know I've kind of have this, and I feel like you guys have too. Like, I've like gotten closer with people in high school that I was just kind of like an acquaintance with, or I would pass them. And in college, it's like so different now. Like I have like this one girl, and we're like really close friends, and we never hung out in high school.
It's just different. You'll change and you'll grow. But college is the most unique time of your life, where you're still dependent on your parents, but you are fully your own person, and you can be independent and do your own thing and make your own schedule without like having to worry about taxes and bills and all that stuff. It's just the most unique time. Yeah. It's really great. You can change your major. That's a great part about going to a big school, is that you can change your major a million times. Nobody cares. On average, people change their major like 3 times.
True. I was
by the time they're out of college.
Barely anyone starts at the same exact place doing the same exact thing that they graduate with. And that's like so normal, because this is the time in our life when we're like exploring like what we want to do and who we are, and that's changing like every day. Yeah. And don't be like afraid to make those changes, and just always put your happiness first as well.
You have no idea what you actually want when you're 17, 18 going to college. It's fine if you have a general idea. It's great if you know exactly what you're going to do and you end up doing that 4 years later, but a lot of people don't know, and that's totally normal and fine, and that's good. And I would recommend trying different things. Like if you have space in your schedule and you've always been vaguely interested in this subject, like take a 100 level course in that subject and figure it out.
That's what it's for.
It's the best time to really, really experiment, because you're never really going to have this many options ever again.
I think in high school everyone is so focused on the colleges they want to go to for the programs they have. And I think it's important to remember obviously you want to go somewhere where you feel like what you're studying is valuable and the school does a good job of teaching it, but at the same time, it's so much more about just the school you go to. It's about, like, how hard you work and the internship opportunities you get and, like, the experience you have, more than just, you know, I went to this prestigious school.
Yeah.
It's not just that.
I've heard a lot of people say,
in high school,
when it comes to jobs, like, it doesn't matter too much what your degree is or where you got it from.
Yeah.
It matters, like, how you present yourself and
yeah, it's obviously
experience.
something to keep in mind, the program and how good it is, but people value that so much in high school, and it's just, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that important. I mean, once you graduate and have a degree, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Not as much as you think it will.
I mean, we're all just still figuring it out. We've all done 1 year of college, and it was ruined by Corona towards the end, so. How about, like, making friends?
I got involved really quick. I joined, like, a bunch of clubs really fast, which I'm glad I did. Some of the stuff I joined, I don't know if I'll do it for all 4 years.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did it then, because I met some cool people, and I had stuff to do. And it introduced me to some really cool people. It's tough. Freshman year is tough because you're with the people on your floor a lot in your dorm, and so you kind of hang out with them because you kind of have to. And a lot of times I feel like these are not really my people. Not as like an insult to them. I was just like, this is not exactly. I feel like these aren't the people I belong with all the time. So that's kind of hard. I have a tendency to be like, these aren't my people. It's not worth it. But like, it's gonna take time to find people that are like really great. You know?
Yeah.
So just be patient, I think, because, you know, maybe you only meet a few great people like your first semester, your first year, but like there's more to come. It's not like everything is, the foundation's laid freshman year and then it stays the same.
I was gonna say, I feel like most people don't make their like best friend group like their freshman year, and especially where we are in the world right now. Like, one of our closest friends is transferring to school with us next year, and she's been so worried. She's like, I missed a whole year, and like I'm going in and everyone already has friends, like, I'm just gonna be so lost. I'm like, nobody really has it figured out freshman year. And then you add all the Corona stuff on top, like, we just, like, packed our bags and left. Like, it was just so unfinished, and, like, I know, like, especially second semester is when things, like, slowly start to fall more in place, like, you're just more comfortable, and that's when people, like, start to make more friends, but we really just, like, left.
Yeah.
And it's so unfinished, and I'm like, you're going in at honestly like a good time because nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows anything.
Starting over with a brand new college experience that we have not figured out before.
Yeah. So just, especially, you know, if you're going into college next year, you know, and you're gonna have to be in your dorm a lot, so all your classes are online, just cut yourself some slack. I feel like I said that earlier about things, but really just don't be too hard on yourself about making friends because every single person's in the same boat.
That's a great thing about making new friends is that every single person's in the same boat, so you're gonna have stuff in common with people immediately. You're gonna be like, Corona ruined my senior year, or like Corona ruined this and that, and then whenever you're starting college, people are trying to make friends, especially at the beginning. People are going to introduce themselves to you. You should be introducing yourselves to others. I didn't do a really good job of doing this. I should have put myself out there more. But people are going to be searching for your friendship, and you should accept their invitations if you can, and you should try putting yourself out there. I didn't do a very good job of this on like One to Talk, but people are going to be in the same boat as you. People are going to want friends. People are going to want people to hang out with, go out with.
Just remind yourself. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm done.
Just remind yourself that like nobody knows what they're doing, and that like honestly helped me a lot of times. I'd be like, oh my god, like I'm homesick, or like I don't know where my classes are. I'm stressed. Like I don't know how college works, and I'm like, no one knows how to handle it. Even like going into sophomores, we don't know how to do it. Like you all just kind of like figure it out together, and again, don't be so hard on yourself about
give yourself
figuring
some
it
grace.
out. Yeah, like it's a transition. I keep saying the same.
Whoa. I didn't think this was a cussing video.
There might be a cussing YouTube channel.
Demonetized.
Okay, cut. We're like saying all this stuff, and it can be seen as like negative, like oh, like no one knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that like it's so fun, and like there's obviously gonna be hard moments, but there was hard moments in high school, and I'm sure you liked parts of high school. Like there's nothing good, nothing worth nothing good like comes easy. It's gonna take some. We're gonna take the boat out. Like nothing.
Civilians.
Like It's gonna be great, even in the hard moments.
Great.
College is really fun. It's really fun to like be on your own, to like do what you want, like eat what you want, be up as late as you want.
Chocolate muffin.
Take care of yourself.
I have a few.
Take care of yourself. Try to like eat at least one healthy meal a day. Eat. Make sure that you eat and drink water, and you take care of yourself and prioritize yourself. It's not bad. It's not selfish. You're not a bad person. These are meant to be the most selfish years of your life. Prioritize yourself.
Yeah,
Make sure you're doing what makes you happy and what is fun. And if you don't like your major, you don't like a class. If
you don't like your college,
you don't like a person, a college, like change something. This is the time of your life where it'll be the easiest.
And don't feel bad about that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you want.
Stay fierce.
Stay fierce always. It's like going back. It's okay. Actually, no. It's not important.
Say it.
No, it's not important. It just sounds stupid.
No, I want to know.
Okay,
though. You just tell us.
No,
Can you look away?
No, like I think like it's okay to stay in sometimes, and like sometimes I think it's okay to have alone time. I felt like my freshman year, I was like, especially the first 2 months, I was like, oh my god, I have to like take advantage of like all this freedom. Like I need to go out every single night. I need to meet all these people. I need to not sleep. No sleep. And
Bus. Club. Another club.
I was like, no sleep, like friends all the time, and like
that's exhausting.
It's okay to like take a night and be like, hey, like I'm just gonna watch a movie and like go to bed early. Like and take a bath. That's
I did that almost every weekend. So
I
stayed in a lot more, but I was also like really sick at college. That's why I think bring lots of.
Oh my god,
I got sick
so 5 times.
You're going to get so sick.
Corona.
And
I think I had
being
corona,
sick.
but that's another video.
Wait, can we talk really quick? Oh my god, I'm like leaving this. Sorry.
No, yes.
I'm just an aspiring YouTuber.
Dorm essentials, water
But
filter,
I can't even tell you.
sponge. Don't bring actual plates and bowls and stuff.
I think
never use those.
if it's possible, try to see the space before you move in.
Yeah.
Obviously that can't happen for everybody, but that would help you visualize it a lot more. Or try to talk to people who were in that building, maybe.
Yeah, that helped.
Or like where you were. But also the thing is, you don't need to have everything when you move in.
Mm-hmm.
No,
You'll have time. Like you can. It's not like you're gonna be stuck. Like you have time to get other stuff. It'll be fine.
Dorm shopping is so fun.
People, I think it's fun, but also people like don't get stressed about it.
Yeah.
Obviously it's important, but also like it's fun. Like people put so much pressure on it. Like my room looked, I feel like completely different by the end of the year because I like redecorated it like 3 times. I really liked having like my own little small space.
It's lovely having your own little corner, like your own little piece in the world.
And it's fun living on like a dorm floor around different people.
Yeah, that's
might be different
so
this year,
fun.
but-
It was so fun.
I loved my lights. I hung
Oh,
up.
Cozy
Lights are
lights
fun.
and string lights are a must because dorm lighting sucks, and
Yeah,
you
they're
want
just, like,
cozy
cozy,
dorm light.
I would say like bring a lot of extra blankets because you might have people like sleep on your floor.
Yeah.
Ooh, a really good idea for when you have people sleep on your floor. I had a mattress topper, like a foam mattress topper, and when people would sleep over, I'd put that on the ground and they'd sleep on that.
Ooh.
So if I feel like a mattress topper or like any kind of like foam insert you put on your, you know, when you do that. I had people sleep on that and it was like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like I kept a sleeping bag in my dorm.
Also, they can deal. Just have them sleep on the floor.
Dorm hack.
Dorm hack.
Target has these amazing like plates, cups, bowls
For like $1.
for like 79 cents, and they
Get
come in like
those.
pink and gray and blue,
Aesthetic.
and they're the best.
I had like glass ones I never used.
Yeah, they're the
because they were
best.
harder to wash and like.
Just for you.
Do you guys have advice on like communal dorm or bathrooms? Because I didn't do that.
I mean, we had like four single bathrooms on my floor, so that was pretty nice.
Okay, the showers are just I was in a community style bathroom. They're just gonna be gross. And like shower shoes, obviously, if you don't bring shower shoes, you're gonna get infection.
Nasty.
Also, like invest in like a nice like shower caddy if that's the case.
Get one of those towels that velcros.
Oh my god, yeah, get one of those.
Get one of those towels that velcros. Like I promise, you'll need that. I had my own bathroom and I still needed that. Get one.
You won't be in the dorm that I was in because we had people singing at 6 a.m.
It'll honestly like raise your tolerance for gross situations. So.
True.
Yeah.
College like makes you
The
like,
people
more
who are
patient.
like hate it are like the worst kind of people, honestly. I mean, it's obviously gross for everyone, but like
you get used to
I
it.
would've
yeah,
been-
like come on, you
so
can do
much.
it. Like deal with it.
Everybody has to do it at some point.
Also, being in a dorm is just even with coronavirus and you're still in a dorm, it's still gonna be like a somewhat college experience. Don't worry about that. and there's nothing
It's
like
fun to be
it.
right on campus.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. You're never gonna experience it again. You're probably gonna be in it for 1 year, and you'll never have that again. And it's just like, it's just fun, and like take advantage of it. And like, even though like it'll be annoying and like people are gross or like loud, like it's just a part of the experience. And now that like I wasn't in a dorm my second semester because I transferred, and I like missed being in a dorm. Like I missed being surrounded by people. Like the transition from being like in a dorm to an apartment. Obviously, it's fun. I had so much more space, my own bathroom and stuff. But I missed being around people 24/7, and just like
even if you're an introvert, it's fun. I'm very much an introvert. Spend a lot of time alone, but it would be so. I am like when I don't know people. I didn't like going out every weekend, but sometimes
I think everyone's both a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes people would knock on my door and they'd be like, "I just made this in the kitchen. Want to come try it?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And it's just like
nice.
Fun.
Also, if you're ever this is like a little thing. If you're ever like having a hard time, like order yourself like something on Amazon, and getting a package is like the best thing about college. Like,
that's so true. I
loved opening something or like getting a notification that had a package, even if I like knew what it was and it was like the smallest thing. That was just the best.
Just like order yourself something on Amazon once a week, like a pen or like.
Bottom line, it's gonna be great. This probably helped you. Just kidding.
You're welcome. We know everything we're talking about. I'm the master of college.
I literally couldn't even tell you.
I don't know. I don't feel.
I'm like nervous to go back.
I don't feel.
We're scared.
What's the word?
I'm ready.
No. I'm thinking about something else.
Miserable.
Confident.
Depressed. Qualified. I don't feel qualified to talk about this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Oh my god, that's so funny.